This week in Disc Golf saw a highlight show put on by AB and Gannon. The European takeover of the FPO might be underway as Norwegian Stein holds off Tatar and Owen for a win. Gavin Rathbun opens the curtain on Disc Golf offseason, and so much more. What's going on, all you disc-generates? Disc Golf World, Jefferson, the minivan, and me, Swiss Cheese, you know the one with all the holes in his game, are currently staying on the course at Persimmon Ridge. You are watching This Week in Disc Golf, where we cover all things disc golf from the past week. I want to take the time to thank each and every one of you for taking the time to watch. The disc-generates who contribute to the Patreon, and everyone who subscribes. With your support, you guys help take our channel to the heights we have achieved. A crazy tour experience with my nephew, and now here to cover the 6th annual Persimmon Ridge retreat on one of the sickest courses we have been. I do better talking about disc golf, so let's just jump in. With the official end of the Texas swing, the disc golf season could not have shaped up better as far as storylines go. The Texas State Disc Golf Championship could not have exemplified it further, with a tight finish from the two youngest superstars in the sport in Gannon Buhr and Anthony Barella. The youth movement is underway, and the way the season is shaped up, this battle between these two heavyweights and fan favorites stand out above all others doesn't look to be coming to an end anytime soon. Barella came out to an early one-stroke lead over defending champion Calvin Heimberg during the worst weather conditions of the weekend on day one. Followed it up with an electric 16 under. Yeah, you heard me correctly, on day two. The round was 11.06 rated, seemed like a walk in the park for the superstar. And no, I'm not using that word lightly. AB, with yet another insane performance this year, has blossomed into the superstar role many expected him to at a very young age. That 16 under round was the third 1100 rated round of his career and second this season. We are only 3 months removed from his 18 under at Memorial. Also, when you can separate from the likes of Vinny and Gannon, who shared the card, not sure why that word might be too early to use. Barella shredded this course as it highlighted his strengths on distance control, touched on some of the most technical holes, and especially his putting. Everything about AB's game screams special, as the wow moments that separates him from the rest exudes cool with a model girlfriend on top of that, like a European soccer player. Something the sport has yet to see. Shit, our sport version of cool was Frosted Tips Macbeth cruising the FPO circuit looking like a bad boy member of a boy band. With a 6-stroke lead over second place Ezra Ederhold, who had his tight pants on. Most expected the final day to be a celebration lap for AB. Can someone, maybe the DGPT, inform Ezra that we can see his scrotum? Can't blame fanatics for that. Just his choice of pants that looks as though they might blow off if he farted. Ezra came out strong to make it interesting though, going 9 under through the first 10 holes. But after a bogey on 11 and being only able to find 2 more birdies on the round, he would fall back to finish third behind a charging Gannon. Gannon, who might be the only one on tour who likes young Sheldon and Legos, went into hole 9 5 under and having gained no strokes on AB despite a bogey on 6. Him starting 8 strokes off AB at the start of the round, a few expected him to challenge for the win before the round, and certainly not at that moment. Gannon would have something to say about that, however, before the round finished. He would go on to birdie the next 6 holes, gaining 6 strokes on AB after 2 bogeys and 2 pars during that stretch, cutting the lead down to 2 strokes with 4 holes to play. Gannon's birdie stretch didn't stop there, had a near ace on 16, AB, who sensed the pressure and responded, however, matching birdies over the next 3 holes and headed to 18, needing to hit the green to all but seal the win, which he did for his second victory on the season and looking like a Player of the Year candidate 2 months in the season. Gannon doesn't look to be going away anytime soon on the Player of the Year talks either. 2 have similar finishes on the season, 2 wins with AB edging Gannon on DGPT victories, allowing fans to debate just who is the most impressive and the best at this point. Gannon, unlike AB, exemplifies what most consider a disc golf pro to look like. He's absorbed himself into the sport unlike any pro his age or most currently in the sport, grinding on his game constantly through endless practice rounds, putting sessions, form dissection, and surrounding himself with peers who are focused on improving their skills. Vinny, still dealing with an injury, is still hanging around, however, with a 5th place finish, losing a stroke to Matty O on the final day to take down a 4th place finish himself.
Beth at 69.
I just told myself, you got to will this one in there. Whatever you have, just will it in there.
This man is unbelievable. This is what athletes live for. This is the moment.
The FPO has its own dynamic storyline emerging also, as the weekend saw a new winner yet again in another European victory, this one not coming from Tatar. Anakin Steen became the third European to win a DGPT event this season, though that European takeover prediction from the past might have been a little premature. Now in the 2024 season, a European has taken down all but one DGPT event this season. Owen Scoggins is the only American who has a DGPT victory. Yeah, she's initially from Laos, but she was introduced to the sport here in the States, so we're claiming that one, baby. And before you mutter it, Missy did take down the major. But with now 3 individual European victories, each from a separate nation, it goes to show how fast the game is progressing overseas. Tatar looks to be regaining control of her dominance, and there are promising talents still challenging also. This success, it will only continue to grow the sport in Europe and especially Norway after the Steen win. Amazing enough about this victory was Steen's ability to not only hold off Tatar, but also own for this victory. 2 hottest FPO disc golfers on the season, and the 3 were able to put together the closest finish we've seen from the FPO this season. Steen and Scoggins came into the final day at 20 under for the round. Steen had back-to-back 10 unders, taking advantage of some of the lefty lines that she was afforded on this course. Surprising some fans by looking so confident off the tee, she led the entire field in C2 regulation over the entire tournament. Owen shined with a course record-setting performance on day 1, followed that up with an up-and-down round, but finished strong late. Tar's day 1 performance looked as though her recent struggles would continue as she landed herself down on 3rd card, only to bounce back in dominant fashion we have grown accustomed to, beating Owen's course record the following day with an epic statement finish. A huge 70-foot straddle putt on an elevated basket for birdie on 17, and a bullseye hit over the water in the tee of 18. Final day would be a back-and-forth battle early as Steen lost her share of the lead after the first hole. Would have a statement drive on hole 3 past Owen and Tatar for a birdie look from C2. She confidently hits that putt and picks up the stroke she lost the 2 holes prior. Began to separate, but missed a C1 par-save putt after going OB on her approach. 2-stroke swing to both Tatar and Owen on 7 would cost her the lead. Owen could not keep pace, but would go on to take 3rd. Tatar was charging, seemingly gaining momentum from crowd's excitement after each birdie. She would birdie 4 holes after 7, gain 2 more strokes on Steen, and a share of the lead heading into hole 12. After a big birdie putt from Anakin, Tatar bricked the easy birdie look in uncharacteristic fashion, giving up her share of the lead that she would never get back. And credit Steen, as she not only matched Tatar shot for shot on the remaining 6 holes, but performed in the biggest moments, hitting huge back-to-back C2 putts on 13 and 14 while Tatar was parked, placing her drives in near-perfect placement, and won this tournament outright through her play ahead of the number 1 and 2 players in the world. Apart from Steen's impressing fans this week, Gavin Rathbun not only had yet another solid performance with a 5th place finish, but also impressed many after his interview on the Tour Life podcast. Gavin is a great dude and one of the most honest on tour, and as he got into how he overcame his off-season difficulties. Having a promising career ahead of him before dealing with injuries for most of his contract with Dynamic, he was concerned with what his contract offers would be, and after an unacceptable 1-year offer from Dynamic, Gavin chose to rather take the year off. Disappointment of having to take a year off because the offers from companies cannot support Gavin and his family, which is only his girlfriend and 2 cats, shows the sad state of affairs for many players in the game, just how ruthless this sport currently is. Gavin qualified for the championship on a shortened season before his injuries and competed with the best at all levels of the sport. It got little offers worth entertaining and responses from major companies that their rosters are full. For a talent like Gavin to struggle to find a contract offers would be a glimpse of a future for other pros if manufacturers continue to tighten their rosters. Manufacturers putting the burden on a player's longevity in the game by relying on fan support is an ugly fact about this sport, which seems to only continue at least for the upcoming year. As the top-end contracts get bigger, rosters seem to get smaller, and nearly cost Gavin this season what he felt could possibly be his career. Fortunately, he caught a break, was able to lighten the burden of tour expenses and tour with an open bag and find some early success on the season. Go support Gavin by purchasing a Warlock, a collab with Gateway. Gavin hooked up your boy with one as I convert to them on this season. He's got some sick jerseys also out at Double Eagle. Make sure to check out the interview over at Tour Life. Now let's get to some quick hitters. Terry just reached his 500th episode, what only took 10 years to accomplish. I'll take any talks from Terry that doesn't involve his travel issues. In all sincerity, congrats to Terry. Tar might have won more hearts than just disc golfers in the States, as she is nominated for Sexiest Female over in Estonia. Ella teases changes at Jonesboro. Innova releases the Calvin Heimberg Tour Series Groove for their April Fool's run. Disc Golf Jesus' barefooted everyday quest comes to an end. That dude who definitely puts butter on his Pop-Tart accomplished what most said was unattainable. At the very least, certainly more tangible than that Burt Kreischer and Bear Bite battle. Lone Star continues to roast themselves with their Q2 checkup question. That shit's just too ridiculous. Tip feature has now infiltrated disc golf with your Tip Your TD feature. For sake, where are we going? Gannon gives AB a taste of his own medicine, while also promoting Discmania through a root canal. Eagle McMahon finally posts something, only to show everyone he's been growing a chump hump during his break. Disc golf in Uganda sets records as the Green Zone Disc Golf Championship had 116 competitors. A cool accomplishment for the sport. Stokely to have surgery and is out for the next 6 tournaments. Guys, that wraps up this week in disc golf. Some tour notes will be at Persimmon Ridge this weekend. If you're there and see us over on the MPO side, make sure to holler. Be on the lookout for us interviewing pros who are playing at Persimmon. If you have stayed this long, thank you and pat yourself on the back. And if you're not subscribed, make sure to do so. While you're at it, like, comment, and share. And if you want more, check out all the previous episodes and all the content we are pumping out.